So actually it's now recording, and what we've been doing, we recently got a YouTube channel, so we have a few subscribers, but if anybody wanted to go back and look at any of the programs we've had or classes, this one included, we're going to upload our classes and our videos to our YouTube channel. So I'll be doing that later today. So the class is recording, my email's there. The other thing, if you want, you can put your email in the chat, because I have tip sheets. I don't know if other people have my tip sheets in the past, but I have them for these two resources. So if you want to put your email there, and I can email you the attachments to the Word documents, which give you an overview of how to use the two resources in case you want to be able to refer to something later. I can definitely email those to you. So if anybody wants that, you can put your email in the chat, and I will email those to you for Hoopla and Kanopy later today. So right now, this is my iPhone. I'm showing you how to access Hoopla and Kanopy on my iPhone because from experience and just listening to patrons, it seems like most people are going to or like to use these resources on an iPad or a phone or some kind of tablet. But you can access these on a desktop or a laptop as well. So you have options to do that. But I'm showing you guys on my phone because I think most people use it that way, especially for audiobooks to play out loud or music. I'm just going to mute. Sorry. Okay. I know there's background noise sometimes. So here we are on my phone. The first thing we're going to do is go to our app store. So I'm going to show you how to access these apps from the very beginning. So we're going to search for Hoopla. Here it is, Hoopla Digital. It's that blue and white one. I'm going to say open because I actually already have the app, but I'm going to make a new account so everybody can kind of see how it's done, how simple it is if you have all your information. So if you already have one, you could just log in. If you don't have an account, you would click on that at the bottom, don't have an account, sign up. So now I'm going to put in email address. Oops. And Hoopla has you put it in twice. If I can type correctly right now. And then you need a password. So it's asking for between 8 and 40 characters. So no other requirements like capital letters or anything. It doesn't actually say anything like that. So should just be good with anything between 8 and 40. Here we go. So my phone's asking if I want to save my password. I'll say yes. That would be easier for me. And then here we go. We're going to choose our library. It's showing me local, nearby libraries. It's just accessing my location. That makes it even easier. I could check off or click James Blackstone. Then I'm going to say agree. And then you're just going to need your library card number. And if anyone has trouble with their library card number or hasn't used it in a while, if it doesn't work, it might be that your card's expired. So you could just call the library and we can update it for you over the phone. If you have trouble logging into any of these resources, that could be a main reason why it's not working. So here we are. Now it's telling us we allow our patrons to borrow up to 5 titles each month. And I know that's not a ton. So these resources that I'm talking about today are kind of good to use as supplemental things because, I mean, let's face it, 5 titles is not that much if you're going to be interested in audiobooks, movies, books, TV shows. But you do have 5 a month. That's what we offer right now. Maybe we would increase that in the future because I believe that Hoopla has been very popular with people. So I'm going to click continue. I'll say yes to notifications, but you can always shut that off. Let me go back. Where did we go here? Okay, well, Hoopla can be glitchy sometimes. Let's see if we can log back in now. Get back in. And here is our landing page. So this is the home page of Hoopla when you're using the app. Right now, you'll notice it says Hoopla at the top, and it says borrowed and favorites. So once you borrow a title, it's going to appear here. It's telling us that we can borrow 5 more titles this month. Next to that is a little thing that says favorites. So favorites, if we tap on that, we'll see that we don't have any favorites right now. But what we can do is we select something as a favorite, and it's a good place to keep track of favorite authors. You can save titles that you want to read later or want to borrow later. So that's a good thing. It's just going to show up as a little heart next to a title. So once you heart something, it will show up under favorites. So let's go back to borrowed. Right now we don't have anything borrowed quite yet, but we will see how what that looks like in a second. So if you look at all the way at the bottom of my phone, you'll see that we are in my Hoopla, but you'll see there's other icons there. So if we roll across, you'll see that Hoopla offers video. If we tap video, this is what we get. At the very top, you'll see that we're under movies. So Hoopla offers movies and TV shows. So right now we are browsing movies. If you prefer TV shows, you can just tap that at the top, and it'll show you TV titles. One really important thing to remember, it's kind of frustrating, it applies to TV shows. So we're talking about 5 borrows a month. Every episode is a borrow. So unfortunately, that's how it's done. It's not a whole season as one borrow. If we click on something, let's click on Agatha Raisin, season 3, that came up first. So you'll see here that each episode is a separate borrow. So if you want to watch the whole season, there's 7 episodes. You can watch 5 of them in 1 month and wait till the next month to finish it. So it is frustrating, I think. But it only applies to TV shows, obviously, because everything else is just one checkout. But just so you all are aware. And let's see, we can actually click borrow to see what it looks like. It's telling me now that this title is available for 3 days after we borrow it. I'm going to click borrow. And then we can press play. Now if I go back to my Hoopla, which is in the bottom left, we'll see that this shows up as being borrowed. And now it also says that I have 4 more titles this month. If I tap on it, you'll see we get some more information here. The favorite is right there next to it. You can tap that heart to favorite it and it'll show up in your favorites. You can read some more information here. And I want to play. Let's see what it looks like if we play it. I find that Hoopla can be a bit glitchy sometimes. Sometimes you might have to not log out, but close the app and go back into it. Here's play. Sorry about that, my screen share went off. So this is the show. If my internet connection is a little poor, it might not play. But that's how you would play something on Hoopla. It tells you how long the program is. The X in the top left will get you out of there. And then you'll see all the different episodes that you can borrow and play, how long they are, which episode it is. I also favorited that, so now it's showing up in my favorites. So on the bottom, after video, you'll notice that there's also music. So Hoopla also offers music. And here we'll see a lot of cool music that they have actually. Hamilton, Frozen 2, they have actually a lot of good music choices. A lot of popular current music. Billie Eilish, she's on here. ABBA, there's just a lot of options for music. Aladdin, Elton John, they have just tons of stuff. So if I wanted some kind of music, I can click borrow here. And then the music is actually available for 7 days. So movies and TV shows are available for 3 days. Music albums are available for 1 week. And audiobooks, ebooks, and comics are going to be available for 3 weeks. Now you do have the option to renew. You can renew something, and that appears 24 hours before the item is due. But just know that that actually takes up another borrow. So you can renew anything. You know, there's no wait lists for Hoopla or Kanopy, which is nice. If anyone uses Overdrive or Libby, you know that there's sometimes long wait lists, especially right now. But for Hoopla, there are no wait lists. 100 people can borrow this Hamilton original cast recording for a week. Everybody can borrow it at the same time. But that's why it's only limited to 5 a month per person. So if I want to borrow Hamilton, we'll say borrow. We have this for 7 days. And then we can play it. You can also download, if you're using the mobile app, you can download a book, music, a movie to the device. But what that means is you're just downloading it to the app itself. So these music and books are not going to show up anywhere else on your phone or device. They're just going to be downloaded to the app itself. And what that means is that you can access these things if you don't have a connection to Wi-Fi. To download it, you will. But once it's downloaded, you should just be able to access the books and the music without being connected to the internet. So now if we go back to my Hoopla on the bottom left, what do you guys see on the screen?
The place where we could have hit borrow, but it won't do it.
Right, and it never showed us when you went back to Hamilton.
Oh, you don't see Hamilton at all?
Nope, we see the haunted house versus the deadly dance.
And also, I don't know how to send a chat to you because
Hold on, let's see. Maybe let me try again here.
your video's off. Your video is off.
You guys see Hamilton now?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
And can you only do this on a phone or can you do it on a computer as well?
You can do it on a computer. Yep. You just can't download the things to your computer. So if you're using a computer, Hoopla and Kanopy are just going to be streamed. But yeah, you can definitely use a computer. You can sign up that way and access it all from a laptop, a computer, any tablet device. Yeah. Does anyone else have any questions right this second? I can answer.
Now, what were you saying in the very beginning? I had a very difficult time getting in, and I use Zoom almost every day. What were you saying you would email people?
Yeah, if you'd like to put your email address in the chat, I can email you these tip sheets that I've created for Hoopla and Kanopy as something that you can refer to later. I can send you the email. I can send you an attachment with the documents.
Okay.
If you want to put your email.
I can't send my chat to you. I've been trying.
The chat, is that what you're trying to find?
I can't send it. I've written it, but I can't send it.
Oh, in the chat? If you just press enter, does it go?
No, there is no enter. I've never had a system quite show like this one.
Are you using a computer or your phone?
No, the computer, but I had to cut and paste your meeting name and into my Zoom package. I couldn't just click on your link and have it bring me.
Yeah, sometimes for whatever reason, it's not like a clickable link. It doesn't show up as that. So if you copy and paste, you'll be able to get in that way. But Yeah. Well, if you have any questions, I mean, you could always email me. My email's at the top of the chat. If you have questions about anything else that we, went over, in the beginning. I just went over the beginnings of Hoopla. Have you ever used it before at all?
No.
Okay.
Now, are you L Dest 10124? Is that who you are?
No, I'm at the very top. C. I can put my email again. I'll just put it again.
Okay, I see it.
So I know Laura asked about magazines, and magazines are not available on Hoopla. It's just the music, books, TV shows, movies, but magazines are available on RB Digital, and that's another resource that we offer that you can access from our website if you go online, and there's an app as well. So it's called RB Digital. They have magazines. They have a lot. I will put it here. That's what it's called, RB Digital. I put it in the chat. And if you go to our website, you can go under digital resources and you'll see information about it. So can everyone see Hamilton? I'm hoping everyone can see Hamilton. But I can go over a little bit of what I went over in the beginning because I know it was hard for some people to get in. This is the main screen of Hoopla. It's a pretty simple interface. This shows me what is borrowed. I have 2 borrows right now. It shows me when they're going to be returned, and it shows me how many more titles I can borrow this month. Hoopla has 5 that are allowed per month per patron, and so does Kanopy. Now, if you had another person in your house that had another library card and you have another device, you can definitely sign in with that and access more, more borrows that way. If you're watching movies together or TV shows or something like that. If you have kids in the house, you'll notice there is a little kids word on the top left. If I click that, it's actually going to just make it child friendly. So everything I browse now, it's just in kids mode. Just so you know that that's available, that's what that is. If I go back to my Hoopla, I uncheck kids, and now we're back and it shows me everything I have borrowed.
Brian.
I went over on the bottom where it says video. Once I click video, you'll notice at the top, you have options to look at movies and options to look at television shows. And next to that, you'll see genres. Now, I think this is probably a good way to narrow some of this down. If I click genres, I can look at different kinds of movies. They have top categories, and then they have all kinds of other categories they've made. Anime, 80s throwback, book to film, celebrating Black stories, all kinds of categories here. Let's look at book to film. Here we are. We have all these options. And then you'll notice another option. Towards the top, you'll see that there's a filter and a sort. If I click sort, you'll see that this is what pops up. It's set to default, and what that really is popularity. Because if we click on popularity, oh, I guess it changed. Usually, but most of the popular ones actually come to or pop up at the top. One thing I like to do is maybe sort it by date added or release date. You can sort the results that way. If you click filter, which is on the left, you'll be able to filter by, say, release date. You want to just look at book to film movies that have come out in the last 6 months or the last 12 months. So there aren't a ton of movies here because we've made it so specific of a search, but those are what you can do with the sort and the filter. And you can do that with music too. If we go to the music option, go to genres, you can look at all different categories, award-winning music, and choose those. I'm just swiping down to get back. And you'll see we have the sort and filter for music as well. So we can sort by title, we can sort by the rating, user rating, other Hoopla users. We can filter it out. So if you just want to see what music was added to Hoopla in the last 7 days, you can look that way. The next option at the bottom is books. If we click on books and then look all the way to the top, you'll see that it defaults to audiobooks. So we're starting with audiobooks, but you can click on comics or ebooks to just look at those types of books. Comics, ebooks. Now when you look at ebooks, there's just going to be tons here. It's going to include young adult, it's going to include kids. So it could be a little overwhelming. What I find is good, especially when looking at books, is if I click on genres, and say you only want to look at fiction titles. You can go down here, click on fiction, and now fiction has all kinds of subgenres that we can look at. But if you just want to see all the fiction titles, you can tap that, which is at the top. See all fiction titles. And now we're just going to be able to see the adult fiction titles. So that will like weed out the kids, young adult, and other things. You know, it won't show nonfiction. So I find when you're browsing, it might be best to, once you click on books and then click on ebooks or whatever you prefer, audiobooks, to then go to genres and search for kind of what you're looking for. You can look at just nonfiction, just fiction, and such, all that. And then all the way on the bottom right, you'll see search. So here is where you can search by artist, title, series name, shows you what's trending. And then anything you borrow will show up in my Hoopla. So to navigate, you're going to be looking at the bottom of your device. That's where all those little icons will show up. You'll notice next to Hoopla at the top, on the right, you will see the little gear icon. That'll be your settings. If I click on that little symbol, there aren't too many settings, but you can do a few fun things here. You can look at recommendations. So if I click on recommendation settings, I can select genres that I'm interested in under books, under music, movies, and then they'll use these selections to recommend titles that they think that I'll enjoy. Go back to settings, see what else we can do. If I click on library settings, you'll see that it'll tell me I'm registered with Blackstone Library. You can update your library if you ever change libraries, that's where you would go. If I go back to settings, this is where you will see link a streaming device. I know someone was asking about that. If I click link a streaming device, this is what's going to pop up. So what you would have to do is go onto your TV, and if you say have a Roku, just because I know that is like a really popular one that a lot of people have, but you can use it with Chromecast or Fire Stick, Apple TV probably too. You would find the Hoopla application that way, and then they would give you a code. You enter the code here, and then it should link up. So I haven't tried it myself, but there are also YouTube videos of people, of doing this exact thing, and you can watch them do it, and I'm sure it's not too difficult. So that's how you would link a streaming device.
Thanks, I wrote it down.
Oh, good, you got it?
Yeah, I got it.
Perfect.
Thank you.
No problem. So those are the basics of Hoopla. I think it's a pretty simple interface to navigate. There's a lot of options. Like I said, you only get 5 a month, so it's kind of like you got to pick and choose what you want. I don't know if everybody heard, but I mentioned it in the beginning that you can renew these titles or music or movies, but it will use another borrow. So just know that. the monthly borrow limit resets on the first day of the new month. So if you have previously borrowed titles, they're going to remain until the lending period expires, but you're still going to be given your new month's borrows, if that makes sense. So if I have a book, you'll have your book for 3 weeks, no matter what day it is, even if it's the first of the month, but you will just get your 5 borrows for that month. Still. So that is Hoopla. Does anyone have any specific questions about Hoopla? You can unmute yourself and ask. There's not too many people, or you can ask it in the chat.
This might be more than you want to get into, but how about Hoopla to my Kindle? Is that possible?
If you have a Kindle Fire, it should be possible. I mean, if you have a Kindle Fire, you should be able to download apps. So I'm trying to think if it, I mean, it probably depends too on how old the Kindle is.
It's brand new, but it's not the latest one. It's the one that costs about $100, not $150.
Okay, let me see if I can find out quick.
Because I know how to get books from the library. You have to go through Amazon, and then it shows up on the Kindle. So I don't know about Hoopla.
Yeah, as long as it's not a Kindle Paperwhite, which doesn't have that. Yeah.
That's the one my husband has for more money. It isn't. It's the one.
Yeah. So the Paperwhite is really, really nice to have like on the beach and stuff like that, but you can't access some of these apps as easily. You can still get Overdrive, but Overdrive is our other ebook lending app, but the way you have to do
I know how to do that, and that works fine. Okay.
Yeah, but Hoopla is not going to work on a Paperwhite.
But it might work on the one I have, so I might try it.
Right. Yeah,
okay.
Definitely.
Okay.
Go to the App Store and try that out. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, perfect. So I think I went over everything that I wanted to tell you guys about Hoopla. Let's see if there's anything else I wanted to mention. Oh, if you return a title early, you don't get anything in its place. You can't get like a credit back. That was another thing. There's frequently asked questions here, so I'm looking at everything that they're mentioning, see if there's anything else. But I can actually email you guys my frequently asked questions I put together for Hoopla as well. And also a troubleshooting for iPhone. I have a troubleshooting for Android too. So I could send anybody any of that stuff that you'd like. I'll send you the basic tip sheets, and then you can email me back if you want anything more or have trouble with Hoopla or you have any specific questions. So right now, I'm going to close Hoopla. And also, I just want to make sure it's clear that Hoopla, unlike Overdrive and Libby, everything is available on Hoopla to everybody at the same time. So there's no waiting lists at all. Now let's look at Kanopy. Here's Kanopy. Kanopy is all movies. So I'm going to open it and we'll sign up for Kanopy. Let's see. We'll click Get Started. So the sign up process looks a little different for all these apps, but it still does not take too long. Do we have a library card? We do. Find library. James Blackstone pops up based on location. I'm going to say select this library. And I'm going to put in card number. Now we're creating an account. It asks for first name, last name, email address, password. I'm going to say go. I'm going to save my password. All right, it says welcome to Kanopy. For Kanopy, we also have 5 play credits each month to watch films. So this is the landing page for Kanopy. You'll see at the top right, it says how many borrows I have left, or how many play credits, which I have 5 right now. I haven't borrowed anything. If I just tap on that, it says these are your remaining play credits for the month. So like Hoopla with Kanopy, where you would navigate to look at different things is all the way at the bottom. So we're on our home page right here. We can look at newly added movies, newly added documentaries, world cinema. But if we want to browse at the bottom, we can click on that. And here we can browse by genre. We can browse just movies. We can browse just documentaries. And then if you click on that, you'll see that it's kind of organized into different categories: ethnicity and identity. What else? Women in society. They have all kinds of different curated lists that they've put together for you to browse. You can also perform a search. So it's showing you right now what the most popular searches are. You can search by a specific name of a movie, subject, specific actors. What I found today when I was playing around with it is if I click on companies, and then I do PBS, because I know a lot of people are interested in PBS, and they have a lot on here. If I type that in, we're going to see all of the PBS that's available. Ken Burns Collection, Frontline, they have all different things here. Another cool collection that they have, if I go back and search for the great courses, they have a lot of the great courses. So I just found that searching by company and then typing in that will bring me all the great courses that they have available. I think that was the easiest way to get to specific production companies or groups that make these TV shows. So Great Courses, PBS. They have the Criterion Collection. So they have a lot of thoughtful entertainment, as they call it. So if we find a movie that we like, then we tap on it here. This is what will show. If you want to just play the movie, you would press the play button that shows towards the top in the middle of the picture. We can see how long the movie is here. We can see a short synopsis. You can see there's also a button that says watch list, so you can add it to a watch list. And then if you look on the bottom, you'll see where it says my lists. We can go to my watch list. So this is also like a favorite section. So this will be like a place where you would want to mark movies that you want to see later. That's what my watch list is. Once you've started a movie, it'll appear in the continue watching section. Now I'm back at the movie. I'm going to press play. I think it messes up when I play it. Let me try to get the share going again. Okay. So that's what's happening when I share the movie. It does mess up my screen share for you guys, so I'm not going to press play. But an important thing to know is that the movie has to be playing for 5 seconds or more for it to actually count as a play credit being used. And then once it marks it as a play credit that's used, you have 3 days to watch the movie. And you can watch it as many times as you like. So you'll see I did actually start the movie, but it's still not crediting it as a play because I didn't let it play for 5 seconds or more. So if you click something accidentally, you still have a chance if you just press pause or go back. So now that I've started the movie, You can see on the bottom, I'll go to my lists again. It shows me that this is what I've started. I can continue watching it. The other button all the way in the bottom right is more, and this is where you could see your memberships. If you have a library card from another library, from a university, anything like that, you can add that here. This is also where you would link your device to your TV. So this one tells you to enter the code like Hoopla did, and it tells you it's compatible with the Fire TV, Apple TV, Android TV, and Roku. So you'd find the code on your TV, enter it here, and then it should link up. So Kanopy is pretty simple. It's just movies. So that's what you'll find on here, movies and documentaries. If I want to see more, these are newly added movies, I could click see more. It's going to show me all of the newly added movies based on genre, science fiction, horror, different things like that. If I want to browse movies, I can. Drama, comedy. And those are the basics, really, of Kanopy. It's not too tough. Anybody have any questions about Kanopy?
I've been looking at a black screen and it says now playing on your TV for about the last 3 minutes.
Oh.
Now it says James Blackstone. Double click, nope, that's not helping.
I'm still doing it.
Okay. All right, now I'm on Kanopy again and I see all the things. So something happened. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, it's when I share, when I play the movies, because it happened with Hoopla too.
Yeah,
If I try to play the movie, it doesn't like it.
great.
So
I'm back. Thank you. I'm muting.
yeah, for some reason it doesn't like it. Sorry about that. So all I went over was home. On the bottom, there's browse for movies. You could search for specific movies. I think you guys saw that I looked at great courses and PBS. Anytime you start a movie, it appears in this area, My Lists. It shows you what you can continue watching, and it shows if you've actually added anything to your watch list, which is like a favorites. More on the bottom right is where you can look at your memberships. Add a library if you belong to a university or some other library. You can add another card. And you can link your device to your TV if you have Fire TV, Roku, Android TV, or Apple TV. Those are the basics of watching movies on Kanopy. I don't know if anybody has any questions about Kanopy specifically. Like I said, each video uses 1 play credit, regardless of length. This also resets on the first calendar day, the first day of each calendar month, excuse me. To use a credit, you have to play for 5 seconds. Once it's logged, you have a full 3 days to watch the video or the movie as many times as you want. So anyone with a Branford Library card can access Hoopla or Kanopy. If it doesn't work, I mentioned it earlier, you can call us. Your card might be expired. But other than that, you should be able to use these resources. If anyone's having any problem with a specific title, you can let me know. That's happened in the past a couple times. Sometimes there's just glitches with these things, and one book or movie just doesn't work like it should. But these people are really good at getting back to me. I've emailed them before with problems, and they've looked into it. So if anyone has questions, they can email me, or trouble using these. But those are the basics of Hoopla and Kanopy. It's not too difficult. I knew it wouldn't even take an hour probably to go over it. So if anyone has questions, I'm going to stick around. I'll be here to answer them.
Thank you. I'm going.
All right.
It was good.
Thank you.
Sure.